Hey, so do you ruminate on past conversations long after they're over? Like, oh my God, why did I say that? Oh, that was so stupid of me, so cringe. Or what did that person mean by that? Were they joking around or were they making fun of me? Like, what was that about? And it leads to this analysis paralysis. Okay, so if that's something you experience, you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm gonna help you understand why that rumination and those intrusive thoughts are constantly bombarding you. And then I'm gonna help you understand how to overcome these thoughts so you can stop being stuck in the past. Okay, so let's not waste any time. Let's dive in. Let's go. All right, so if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Rubin and I help individuals get relief from their social anxiety attacks. What are those? The blank mind, the racing heart, the feeling like you can't breathe, and the embarrassing shaky voice. So if that's something you struggle with, consider hitting that subscribe button. And there's also a bell notification beside that. So make sure you hit that so you can be notified right when I release videos just like this one. And you can also follow me on Instagram for content that I can't post on YouTube and to interact with me on a daily basis, okay? So the handle is up there. And so to understand this issue where this constant past rumination and replaying the thoughts and beating up on yourself, okay? We have to understand what determines what we experience moment to moment as human beings, okay? What determines the thoughts we experience moment to moment, the feelings that come up moment to moment. We have to really understand that, okay? And we all us humans have a nervous system, okay? I have a nervous system, you have a nervous system, and what that nervous system does, it takes in information from your environment through your five senses. Okay, so your sight, your hearing, your taste, touch, smell. Think about a dog. What does a dog walk around and do? Sniffing, touching. He's just simply exploring his environment through his five senses. But what is the burden of being human? One of the burdens we have is our minds, the thoughts that come in after the fact, after we take in the information, our assessment of that information. So think about it this way. There could be one person, you probably have this coworker or this friend, they make a mistake or they say something stupid in a conversation or something, they made a mistake in a conversation and it doesn't bother them at all, right? Whereas for you, let's say you make a mistake or you felt like you said something stupid, okay? And then after the fact, you have a completely different experience, right? You replay it over and over and you beat up on yourself and you get angry with yourself. And so what gives here, you and your coworker, your friend, you both made a mistake in the conversation, but why is it that you're the one that's replaying and beating up on yourself about it after the fact, okay? And the answer to that is your own judgment. It's your own assessment of the situation. It's your own perception of what happened in the conversation. And where do your judgments and your unique perceptions come from? Well, they come from your life experiences. They come from what you've been through in your life. Somewhere along the way, you got the conditioning, you got the message that if you make a mistake, if you say something silly, right? If you say something stupid, there's going to be negative consequences. And there's a beautiful quote by Marcus Aurelius that really sums this up. So he said, if you're distressed by anything external, right? That conversation, it's in the past. You have no control over that conversation. If you're distressed by it, the pain that you're experiencing is not due to the thing itself, but your estimation of it. And I truly believe this as well. If we can learn how to forgive ourselves, then making a mistake in a conversation won't be so distressing. If we can be more compassionate, more forgiving to ourselves, why would it matter if you make a mistake? The truth is, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody says something awkward from time to time. Everybody says something a little silly that they regret from time to time, okay? But how do we stop that spiral into that rumination? That's the key here, because humans, we have 6,000 thoughts a day. I have 6,000 thoughts a day. You have 6,000 thoughts a day. But what is it about those thoughts that get stuck and you keep ruminating on that same thought? So I go into that in another video where I explain exactly why that happens. I'm gonna link that up at the end of the video so you can check that out. But what I wanna make you aware of today is what I call the identity funnel. So if you think of a funnel, right? Skinny at the bottom and it gets wider and wider as you move to the top. At the top of the funnel is your 6,000 thoughts a day, okay? Your 6,000 thoughts, and underneath that are feelings, okay? There could be just a handful of feelings. So for example, if you're feeling frustrated, okay, frustration is gonna lead to hundreds of thoughts. It could lead to hundreds, it could lead to thousands of thoughts. These thoughts are going to be, what the hell is going on with me? Why do I always make these stupid mistakes? Why do I always say stupid things? Why can't I just be normal like everybody else? So you're feeling frustration, but can you see that's one feeling, but all of these thoughts that are replaying, okay? So when you move down the funnel, it becomes less and less. So that one feeling can fuel more, hundreds and thousands of thoughts, okay? And so top of the funnel, thoughts. Underneath, feelings. What fuels everything, okay? Emotions. I'm not gonna get into that too much, but just know, emotions are the constriction in your throat or the butterflies in your stomach. They're the energetic component at the bottom of the funnel that fuels everything. Okay, and so at the end of the video, what I'll do is I'll give you some more information on the emotions. We won't get into that today. Today, we're gonna work with the thoughts and the feelings, okay? Because ultimately, what you think about in a day, what you think about, the nature of the thoughts that you experience all day, that's gonna make up your identity. That's why I call it the identity funnel, okay? If you are sitting on the couch worrying about what you said about in a conversation, you're constantly ruminating it over and over again, well, you become the guy that's the worrier. I'm just the person that worries a lot. Or if you're in a social setting and you're constantly in your head withdrawing and you're not giving your opinion because you're overthinking everything and you don't think your opinions are good enough, well, then you just become that shy, withdrawn guy. That's just who you become. Why? Because those are the dominating thoughts that you're having throughout the day. That's going to drive your behavior. Okay, that's going to drive the actions you take in the external world, and then how you predominantly behave, right? The norm for you of how you behave, that's going to be who you perceive yourself to be. It's going to be your identity. And so let's go back and let's do an exercise because I want you to experience the levels of this funnel for yourself, okay? So we call this exercise name it, don't blame it. Okay? Because essentially what you're doing in your mind, when you're beating up on yourself, you're blaming yourself. There's no compassion in that. You're just blaming yourself, you're beating up on yourself, or let's say it's something to do with somebody else said it. You're being overly sensitive about it. You know, maybe you're feeling some anger, resentment towards that person. What did they mean by that? How could they say that? Then you're blaming that other person. Okay, and to help you with this, make sure you download my free guide because it's got a wheel of feelings within it. Okay, and you're gonna use this wheel of feelings to help you with this exercise. But essentially what you're going to do is when you're having those thoughts, you're going to label the feeling tone underneath it. So for example, if you're having these thoughts like, oh, what the hell is wrong with me? I always do this, I always say stupid things. What the hell is wrong with me? You're gonna go underneath. Okay, and you're gonna look at the wheel of feelings and you're gonna try to label the feeling underneath. Maybe it's just frustration, right? Or maybe it's embarrassment, okay? And you're gonna really get down to really feel into that and really feel into what the feeling is that's fueling all of those thoughts. And what you're gonna experience is some relief from all of those thoughts, okay? Why? Because what it's doing is those thoughts essentially, where they're coming from is a young child within you. A young child within you that feels frustrated, that feels guilty, okay, that feels bad about himself. And what you're doing when you really feel into the feeling tone of that is you're acknowledging this young version of yourself within yourself. Because think about it now, you're a grown adult now, okay? Beating up on yourself for making a mistake, like when did that start from you? Were you a child? Were you a teenager? Okay, that's coming from your inner child or inner teenager. So when you really feel into that, when you really feel into the feelings, you're acknowledging that younger version of yourself within yourself. And so think about it this way. If you have a friend and he's under a lot of stress, he's got so much going on, he wants to have a coffee with you, he needs to talk it out. He needs somebody to talk to about it, okay? And you meet up with him and he goes, I got this going on, I got that going on, this is stressing me out, that is stressing me out, okay? And then you ask him, well, what are you feeling, okay? Okay, because remember, the thoughts and all of these things are just a smoke screen, but if you get underneath, what are you actually feeling? Well, I feel completely overwhelmed. Like I feel scared. I feel scared that I'm not going to be able to keep this up, right? That's what you want to get down to. Because when you get to your friend's actual feeling, what he's actually feeling underneath, that's when he feels relief, right? And that's what you do as a good friend when you're sitting with him. And the same goes for yourself. You have to learn how to be a good friend to yourself. So remember, the next time you're getting all these thoughts, get to the feeling tone underneath, label it, name it, don't blame it. And then the next step is to move beyond labeling, okay? This is just baby steps though. Thoughts, feelings, which is gonna be the label, but remember, underneath is your emotional work, the work with the energetic, the energy in motion, the butterflies in your stomach that are fueling everything. So if you want to learn more about that, again, download that free guide. It's got the thoughts, the feelings, it's got the emotions as well if you want to work through that component eventually as well. And then what you can do is I'll put a link below to my calendar. You can book a call. I would love to explore this with you. So what we can do is look together at what your current challenge is, what you know, where you're getting stuck, and then I can show you what you're doing wrong. I can point you in the right direction and get you on the right path to overcome this once and for all. And if you found the video helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you know somebody who needs this information, please share it with them so they can actually get the proper help when it comes to social anxiety, okay? So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. All right.